All right. Good morning. Good evening. Good night. Welcome into NFT Live on the Web3 Network. I'm sitting here with some fantastic creators. I'm sitting here with you, taking in the NFT space. Last show of the week, we are going to be talking a lot of breaking news that happened over the last 24 hours. We're going to be having some good vibes. We're going to be talking to Ronin, Biggie, and Gifted here about what they're getting after in the space today, which I hope does not include Porsche NFTs. They were running over the last 24 hours, but we will see. All right, let's start top. Let's start actually, Ronin. Go ahead. Since we missed you yesterday, what is going on, my man?
Not much, man. Just enjoying my Thursday, dude. Figured to jump in and say hello, see how everybody's doing. Beautiful Gifted once this week. Gotta make sure I get my once in a weekend. But yeah, man, I'm excited to have a chat with you and Biggie and everybody else in chat. Looking forward to the conversation, guys.
Love it, Biggie. I love the hat.
Thank you, sir. Got to represent, man. Definitely been a rough couple of hours. It's just dealing with a lot of stuff. I think when you see other communities have to navigate, stormy weather, it just hits different when it's the one you love, right? And like the one you're a part of and all that. So been dealing with that, but then again, also, I don't know, like lit a fire under my ass. We're all humans. I know I myself had like some residue, some I'll get to it later when gas is low kind of things that I needed to do. So I stayed up till the wee early hours, just covering my ass and just fucking revoking shit, moving stuff around, just like not me. So, you get that fucking thing. So it's like, no. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, but I'm happy to be here with you all. It's my fun hour and a half. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the people that tune in. It's a lot of fun.
Let's keep it to an hour and a half today, boys. What do we think? You think we can do that? What's up, kid? Fresh off the GM Web3 morning show. Good job this morning, as always, as a host of that beautiful, the first and only GM Web3 morning show.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
The real GM Web3. Ain't no fakers and posers here. You didn't comment on my hat, Q. What the heck?
I love the mutants.
All right. There we go.
I love your hoodie too, by the way, Giff.
Ronin called me beautiful, so I'll take that. I don't get called beautiful. So appreciate that. Yeah.
Flowers.
What's up, brother? How was the morning show this morning, by the way?
Look, I'm just excited that, we almost have completed another amazing week here on the Web3 network. And we got a lot of other stuff to work on. Like we got ETH Denver stuff coming in hot. We got more big announcements coming very soon. But just know we're going to be out in Denver in a big way. And I hope y'all will get involved with that. We got multiple locations that we're going to be programming and doing dope stuff around. So we got ETH Denver. We got a new show on the way that, again, we've teased a little bit, but we haven't shared that much on. Hopefully, we're going to have a lot more to share on that very soon. So I don't know, man. Just staying focused. Excited to be through another week and get to hang out with y'all. And look, to Biggie's point, how many, like, if you're out there and you're one of these people who's staring at a still fully packaged ledger on your desk, or you're one of these people who's been hearing about safety concerns and safety, protocol and all this stuff, but haven't actually gotten a hardware wallet or done anything to really try and protect yourself or create burner wallets or do any of the things that people keep bringing up over and over. How many times do you need a reminder that this could happen to you, right? Like, do yourself a favor. Take a day, take a couple hours, take 30 minutes even. Go do some wallet hygiene, some safety precautions, buy a ledger, buy a hardware wallet. Because it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, agreed. It sucks that something bad needs to happen for us to kind of reassess where we're at on the security front.
And it's that false sense of security, right? Can never happen to me.
True.
Can never happen to me because I'm too fucking slick.
And then you go and you min a dick pics. Yeah, then you go min.
While live.
All right, we are getting started here with quick news in which we will quickly run into the main topics of today, which is wallet security, which is that Kevin Rose the founder over there of Proof, got hacked for millions. Chromie Squiggles were involved in that, a ton of those, and we'll get into the details there and why I think MetaMask is getting off easy. We'll also get into Doodles 2 and Flow. I definitely think that was a huge announcement, and I want to get Ronin's take on Flow as it stands today. I know, Ronin, me and you were slanging NBA Top Shots back in the day. Not sure if you have any exposure to that ecosystem now, but I'm excited to have that combo with you, man. Oh, you're muted.
Not too much at the moment, man. Like I kind of like, when I was working with Gig, like it was something that it was part of like the internal policy that we couldn't like trade like any of like the collections that our clients, were involved in. So I really like just kind of stayed away from the ecosystem as a whole. The token, however, I mean, I've definitely got like my tokens, right? Like it's one of those where I think that Flow is here to stay, and it's a long-term chain that is making a lot of inroads, kind of like, Polygon. And I think that, I wouldn't fade Flow.
Okay, we'll get to that discussion here in a second, and kind of the two arguments there for Doodles moving to that blockchain. Okay, some quick housekeeping. We just had a comment come through from Mike Erlinson asking, where's the morning show channel? I linked 2 tweets here. I linked the tweet from Web3 this morning, or at least the Web3 profile, as well as the NFT live link. And we'll do a community topic here today to round out the week. Basically,
link to Spotify. Link to Spotify. Link the yo.
Oh, should we do that instead?
Show? You want the morning show. We are now on all of your favorite audio platforms, friend. This is huge. I'm very excited. Jacob is killing it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so every NFT Live, every GM Web3 morning show, and I believe we go for almost 2 hours each on both platforms, are there live if you want to follow along on audio. It definitely helps if you guys can go and rate the show, but we're going to do some giveaways and some things that will incentivize that as well. But if you want to do it, leave 5 stars. I think you have to listen to an episode first, or at least pretend to listen to an episode.
2 hours is not that long, Q. It's a short commute in LA, right, Giff? It's like just every day. You can listen to 2 episodes, one in the morning, one in the evening. That's your 4-hour commute, daily commute in California, from what I hear.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my commute is from my bed to my desk, but yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect for all you commuters out there.
Okay, the other tweet that I linked there was from NFT Live. This is the NFT Live tweet for today. What I need y'all to do, and this will be heavily incentivized here, with a ape coin that is over $6. Let's hear it.
It's over 6 now?
Over $6 for ape coin.
It's holding. It is holding over 6.
So I'm going to, I already linked it, so I'm not going to spam the chat here, but if you guys can go here and then go into the comments section past Hasbullah and leave a comment about a community topic that you want us to touch. We will pick one. We'll have Ronin pick one. He will be the decider of y'all's fate. And one of you will win $50 in ApeCoin today. We like to give back to the community. We still have to do the fucking BasedHeads giveaway. I promise we'll get to that.
It's happening.
Prodigy is fucking
he's getting
putting us on blast for our quick news segment.
It's because the LCS starts today, and he knows his team is not going to do well this split. But anyways, League of Legends for those non-nerds out there.
Feeling spicy.
Okay, I'm going to get to the chat real quick. We always love when you guys participate with us. It makes, honestly, if it was just us 4, I would really like it, fellas, but it wouldn't be the same episode without the community getting involved. Of course, Darren Pacheco, OVOT, Prodigy OVOT, Justin Casey, GM Boys and Girls, LFG. Who else do we got? Nick Alluvium, Blockchain Bully saying Poop Squad. Not sure what that is related to, but we've been saying some crazy shit this week. Don R, OVOT, Ola Ronin, NFT sales up 43% so far in 2023. And Prodigy bringing up the rear here saying, show is great normally, but just that much better when Ronin comes on the show.
I appreciate that. I always have a good time here, man. I wish I could do it every single day.
All right, we will get into today's quick news. Guys, if you could leave a like on the episode, it helps us get the word out about what we're doing on the Web3 network. All right, NFTGO market overview.
No, bag check. What are you talking about? Bag check, bro.
NFTGO bag check.
Overview.
Just imagine a nice badass animated overlay that just goes bag check, and then all right, now we're here.
All right, bag check. NFTGO. All right, here we go. Market sentiment 32. So this is picking up here again. It's based on a couple different metrics. So 32 up about 6 or 7. So market sentiment is picking up. Traders kind of holding steady, more sellers than buyers. And then all of y'all are still in the loss. So please don't chat if you're in loss in my chat. Blue chip index is a little bit down, but ETH has been rising again as we bring this up. So it's pretty much staying stagnant over the last 7 days. Market cap and volume, same thing. You'll probably see a little bit of a pickup there in USD. We had a bunch of different sales over the past week. We'll skip down to collection and distribution. Let's go by 7 days. What do we got? Sewer passes in at number 1 over the last week. Mutant Ape, Bored Ape, other deeds. Welcome to the Yuga Show. Doodles, though, making a appearance here on the 7-day chart. Porsche, of course. We'll
is that gutter cats? Oh no, that's the captains. Sorry, I misread.
No, the gutters are the gutter cats are in the gutter, I think. And here's another. That's just a visual representation, right? That you see there. So sewer passes, folks, is the name of the game. Let me go over
people
here.
People are really letting me down on the sewer passes. I expected today that they would have dipped a little bit further from yesterday, and nope, they're back up to where they were. So for all y'all people not paper handing your sewer passes right now, I don't appreciate it. If you could go, please floor those sewer passes immediately. That would be great.
Digital Designs, we see you in chat. Jack's Hideaway saying you guys are plenty interesting enough without us chatters. Oh, thank you. You know, that I'm going to push back against that, but thank you. Trading sizes right here. OpenSea and Blur taking up a big majority. X2Y2, we know that X2Y2 has that problem with wash trading, correct? But they are coming in at number 3. And you can see there another visualization, Blur and OpenSea just continuing to get after it on the marketplace front. Mm. And that concludes the NFT bag check today.
Bag check. All right. That was it.
Just gotta get somebody to make that graphic, bro.
Yeah.
We'll make it. I'm headed to Fiverr right now. Ronin, did you have anything? I felt like I cut you off there.
Nope.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. I will get into some of these trending mints. It's been a crazy
week,
real
quick follow-up from yesterday. Dick pics, last I checked, were about 60 away from minting out. So
all right, gift that's done on today's show. He brought up dick pics. Never mind. What's going on, dude? So are you rich yet off dick pics? You know you were gonna do that when you were like 10 years ago, but
no,
you didn't think it'd be NFTs.
It's a joke. It's for the lulz.
Of course.
This space is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the bag check still edition. That was more of the market overview, right? But this is the collections. Proceed with caution. Congrats to all you guys that listened.
Shout out to Biggie for helping me get my only gains that I've had in like 3 freaking weeks. I appreciate that, homie, because I definitely jumped into Proceed. I should have bought more, but thank you.
How many did you get?
1.
Yeah, me too. I'm still.
I bought one during that. Dude, I bought 1 and then I bought 2 of the baseheads, and I was like, "Damn, man, I should have flipped that shit." But
did you flip the Proceed, or are you holding it?
No, I'm holding it, man. I think like now, like I'm learning about the project. That's like what's kind of cool about the space, right? It's like somebody tells you about it, you're like, oh, maybe the cool flip. Then you get one, you're like, well, you want to make the best like move you can with it when you see it move, right? So then you do a little research. You're like, well, I probably want to hold on to it, or maybe you decide, okay, maybe now's the top. But a couple days ago, I was like, shit, 0.35. Let me get rid of it. And then I thought about it, and I was like, let me hold it.
So the thing with Proceed, why I'm holding on to it, why I'm proceeding to proceed and
to diamond hand.
This collection is that one, it's not just a sort of like random meme or something that popped off. it has a really legit artist that's getting a lot of heat, getting a lot of attention, that's got a lot of other successful collections. And specifically, the monsters have like a 30 ETH floor. And so I'm just like, and also the game's not over. Like, I don't think the burn mechanic game of what this is going to do, I don't think it's over yet. So that's why I'm still holding it. I'm going to see where this goes. And I'm optimistic that maybe it still goes.
Have you all traded in yours for a different color? Have you picked a different color? What'd you
I got
go
yellow.
for?
I got yellow, which
nice.
was apparently the worst choice. Like, it's like the floor of all the colors. But whatever.
I love that Gifted's fading customizable NFTs with Doodles too, and already customizing his NFTs here with Proceed with Caution.
But this isn't a thing where I'm expected to like spend a bunch of time buying wearables. I just bought one asset and then it changes. It's a choose your own adventure. I'm not having to like shill out more money to buy shoes for it. Yeah, but like I don't have to buy a scarf for it to like participate. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you just buy a different color.
No, it's a free burn mechanic.
Just giving you a hard time, Gifted.
And so just so you know, Gift, all colors, all factions will be treated equal. He has come out and said that already. It doesn't matter which one is more scarce than the other. So yellow will be treated with equal love. Don't feel left out.
So
just not by collectors
and change the color. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So the original was the blue. Do you still have the blue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you can actually. I don't know if he's closed it, but that's the idea.
No.
Is like. But like, look, here's the thing. I think that there's an interesting case to be made for just holding on to the original. Like, what does he do with the original blue ones, the people that hold that and don't? You know,
well, he has messed with people about that too. And if you look at his profile pic, it's a blue monster. And he's like, blue's my favorite color, blah, blah, blah. So he's just messing with us, Ronin. I don't know what to do. These artists are messing with us and enjoying it.
That's good though, man. Like that's the type of shit that like that reminds me of early NFTs, man. It's like when we were cracking packs and shit on wax. Like this is the type of stuff that like just gets people excited, and it's like it allows fucking adults to be big kids, right? And have fun and do shit like that's just fun. And if like you tap into that, then I think like it makes a lot of sense.
Sarah Script is in the house. We appreciate you so much, Sarah. Nice to see you. Is it Ghost or Nyan Cat?
Like button.
I think we're talking about Proceed with Caution, I believe here, correct?
Yeah, the also crazy.
Yeah.
We did talk about Biggie was hitting on the Ghost yesterday. I actually didn't know about the Ghost, but yeah, we've talked about
big fan of the Ghost.
Nyan Cat a lot. I honestly, I kind of want to buy a Nyan Cat because that 0.05, that's really affordable. It is a much higher supply, but like, who knows where that could go? Like that's a really famous meme. Like as far as memes go, like and again has a legit artist that's big in the space. I'm kind of bullish on that.
I'm curious, Sarah. Are you concocting any plans to join this manifold meta? I am very curious what you would do.
I got a grip of morn birds. I'm ready to like transform or some shit into like mecha morn birds.
Mecha morn birds, dude. That's pretty dope.
Imagine. Jack's Hideaway is saying yes. Those wax reveals were great, Ronin. What a callback. All right, last bag check portion. We'd like to go into Crypto Slam as well. This gives you more of like the overall over the last 7 days because NFTGO. I'm still waiting on the 7-day look at the space there for mints and sales. All right, To God's making an entrance there. Obviously, we saw the Mutant Apes, all that stuff. Pudgy's getting a bid. Let's see. I think we had some Doodles bids here as well off the announcement. So Doodles.
Well, isn't that the gods primarily because one dude bought 69?
Maybe.
I know it's like 100 and some. No, it's like some ridiculous amount. Super whale.
Where's the gods? 561. Yeah. So there were 561 transactions. Not many buyers there. Let's go back to 24 hours. I felt like I got something. Yeah, Doodles still up there, getting bids, duplicators. So we'll touch on Doodles and Flow here in a second. Is there any last things I'm missing from this list here or NFTGO? This bag check segment that we were still tweaking.
We don't want to talk about Porsche, right?
I want Ronin's take because Ronin has not been on the channel since this Porsche drop. So we will talk about Porsche. Let's do it. First of all, I'm going into the actual floor price in the NFTGO stuff there.
Yeah, I want to see
Ronin-
what is it right now though. Before I say anything, I just like before I speak, what is Porsche at the moment? Pull that back up.
It's like 2.5x mint price.
I want your take regardless of floor price based on the way that the drop was handled, but I do agree that obviously that's part of the equation. 1.95, so it got up to like 2.
Oh, it dropped. Yeah, it's actually dropping already.
So everything's right in the world. The world is resetting. Nature's healing.
It's like another like example of like I just don't get it. Like all you doing is selling a fucking $1,800 or $1,500 whatever like model of a Porsche. Like that's all, right? Did I miss something? Like you get like
Nope.
That's it. The coolest part about it is you get a model of your custom Porsche, well, one of one, which is kind of cool. But like, what if you got a floor like Porsche and it's ugly AF? Like, like I it's just like, why do you need the NFT, right? Like when I work with clients, I'm like, and they bring up ideas like that. It's like, okay, but you could do that as like a giveaway. You could do that with like in a myriad of other ways. You don't need an NFT for that, right? So like, where I wonder is like, what comes next? And they could prove me wrong, right? Like I'm really more interested, again, like I'm a huge advocate for like enhance the business that you're already in, right? So like how does owning an NFT that is branded by Porsche bring me some type of something as a Porsche fan, right? Like that's what should matter. Like, and it should be affordable, at least for like, whatever your fan base is, right? And it should make sense. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like, tech is getting there now, right? Like we're pushing, like you look at like the Mercedes and like you've got like these massive digital screens, the Teslas, like just a digital like interaction. What does it look like when I have like this like manufacturer's like NFT in my wallet, but then I hop in my car, right? Like my Tesla knows me just walking up to it with my phone, right? So once you plug in something like token proof, like what does that look like? Like, am I getting a cool experience? Like if I own like, like I think I still am boggled by these, and it sucks because you look at it now, right? Like it's like, fuck man, it's up, it's more than mint, and like they're not learning their lesson. Like, so we're going to see more and more of that crap. And when in reality, like I guarantee you there's maybe 20 Porsche fans that are holding those damn things. Like, it's like, it's not conducive to like their business model as is. And I think like we need to move beyond and move into a point where like NFTs are enhancing your current business model and like enhancing the product that you already have and giving your current fans and like new fans who can come into it, right? Some unique experience through that.
Giff and Biggie, let me formulate this question real quick because we've been covering Porsche and the Porsche drop since it started. We were literally live on air rating this drop as it kind of got announced. Did they save themselves with the cut in supply?
You want me to go first, kid? Fuck no. Fuck no. I'm not changing a goddamn thing about my opinion about them. If anything, the only thing I have heard, and again, yet to be confirmed, but the minute the research comes out, I would be happy to share it with you guys. But yeah, there are talks about like some wash trading going on in a couple of DAOs that I am a part of, and I wouldn't be surprised, very much in line with what we saw with the Trump NFT bullcrap. I'm not changing a thing about my position about Porsche.
Well, it's like that's like the MO too, right? It's like, and that's coming from the people they're getting their advice from, right? They're Web3 like consultants. They're telling them like, look, if anything happens and it's like not that great, you got a massive bag of like cash, like just buy your own assets. And on a Thursday morning, right as like everybody's waking up and getting ready for the pop-in weekend, so where they can start flipping their assets and make money and like show people there's volume there, and then let the degens do the rest, right? And that's what takes place. But what's going to happen is it's just going to last a few weeks, right? Like it's only going to last so long, and we'll see that. Like I feel pretty confident, like Biggie, like you will see that. Like cutting the supply, all that does is like it gives you the ability to do exactly that tactic and have an effect, right? Like you don't get that same effect if you got 10, 15, 20,000. But if you only got, I don't know what they cut it to, but if you only got like, you know, half what you originally, like it becomes a more effective marketing play.
Yeah, I think the floor price again, floor price 1.89, the total amount of NFTs after the cut 2,363.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So look, prefacing this with the NFA DYOR,
Don't sue us.
yeah, this is not financial advice, y'all. But if I was in on this, I'd be selling. Absolutely right here, because I don't.
Did you a favor.
Yeah, I exactly. Like, we don't know how much of it is wash trading. To your point about like covering it up, making it seem like it's not as bad as it was, getting some volume going, getting that secondary going. Because Ronin's absolutely right. The cutting it is strategic, and it allows them to now do that strategy of wash trading if they wanted to. Again, we don't know what percentage it is. Maybe we should go try and see what percentage of Porsche trades is happening on X2Y, X2Y2, and LooksRare. That might give us some idea, since we know that those platforms are almost 100% fucking wash trading. But the point is, like right now, these values are the price of these assets is really expensive, with no track record of actually delivering any utility yet. And basically what this project is, as far as I can tell, and kind of similar to what Ronan's saying, is like it's not really integrated into the existing Porsche, fan base or ecosystem at all. It's like its own separate sideshow. And these are basically just like dynamic, customizable posters. Like, it's like hey, you get your own cool Porsche poster that sits in your wallet. And it's not clear at all what that does beyond that. How does that justify the price tag of,
supposedly they're like, they try to do the ferocious approach where you get like a splash of paint or a creative paint based on that artist's like look or whatever, and you get to throw it on the car. And now it's 101 and you co-created it and you feel special.
Anyway, it's hard for me to see how that retains value long term and keeps this flipping, which this community and probably most of the people, to Ronan's point, it's not probably a lot of like their hardcore fan base in this, because they didn't market to their community. They marketed to Web3, flippers and degens, right? So it's like most of the people in this are probably looking at this as a flipping situation anyway. So that's my take. If I was in on it, I'd be selling. I don't see how it maintains the current price that it has.
All right, I looked at the stats there. It's primarily Blur and OpenSea, which I guess is a positive there. All right, we're gonna move into the rest of the quick news. To Prodigy's point, our quick news is often long news. Before we do that, SpeakEasy Tonight, we're getting a tweet out from Web3 Twitter, so follow Web3 and you will be able to hear the likes of Easy and Crypto and Kane Mayfield every Thursday night at 9 p.m. I haven't watched the shit that Jacob's putting out. Can we watch that live?
Can we say I was going to say the turns of phrase. If you are a fan of the English language, the turns of phrase that pop up in that fucking show are just hilarious.
It's the most entertaining thing on Twitter. Yeah, if we can pull up one of these animated clips. All right, let's go.
I need to know what these guys smoke.
Let's stroke this potato a little bit. What do you think?
Whoa.
All of these companies like a tsunami are flowing into 2023. The markets are doing well. There's nothing that triggered this. What's going on?
No, fuck you. You're not going to just start a sentence with let's stroke this potato and think you're going to say articulate shit after that. Fuck no, absolutely not. Everything you said after that is number one point.
The tinfoil hat on for a second, Kane Mayfield. FAA, all of their computers go down, and then the hackers who took down the FAA say, hey, we want Bitcoin as ransom, and we will relinquish the FAA software back to you once you pay in Bitcoin. Bam, FAA, gunpoint says,
wait, did this happen?
Bitcoin. Markets rally as a result. I said put your tinfoil hat on. You're talking to fun uncle. I'm a guy in a Hawaiian shirt over here. You unwrap that.
put the tinfoil on his
Put it on my
head,
head.
and I don't know why he's stroking, but he is.
I don't know
stroking
why
his
he's trying to
hair.
put his bulbous vegetables in my palms, and I won't stand for it.
Please
That
tell
was
me,
an
That is-
absolutely beautiful video.
could you follow along with that?
I
swear.
that was excellent.
Just
Yo, so they're going to be
absolute
stroking
gems.
they're going to be stroking all kinds of vegetables over there tonight on SpeakEasy. Yeah, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST Thursdays on the Web3 Twitter. And man, it is absolutely the funniest, most entertaining Twitter space ever.
Jonathan or Justin Casey saying epic. Jax Hideaway saying that is fantastic. So big flowers for Jacob for putting those together. Yo, Ronin, you said Tesla, and I completely forgot about this post, man. Big flowers, big flowers to my man picking up his Tesla. Got the Bored Ape hoodie
Yeah,
in
man.
there.
Yo.
That's
Hell yeah.
so
You-
no,
you
no
look like-
Porsches.
You look like you can't believe it. You're like,
I can't, man.
Is this real?
Dude, my whole life for the past fucking like 18 months has been like, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, I got let go a month before I took that picture. Let that sink in. I got let go a month before I bought a Tesla. Like, life has been like really amazing for me, and I'm super thankful. And that was a goal. Like, I set a goal for myself. I was like, I want a Tesla. Like, I enjoyed the ride. It's a fucking smooth ride. I like the car. And it, like, for me, the way I accomplish like things in life is setting goals for myself and seeing myself check them off the list. Right. So, yeah, man, that was a big moment for me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I want to give you your flowers when we can. I appreciate everything
I love
you've
you
done for the
guys.
network as well. I love you too, brother. All right, we'll move into some quick news before I start crying. Nyan Cat we touched on, but I also got a link here from Biggie. I believe this is you. Do we have any updates here? From this
Yeah, I
week?
mean, I've just I wanted to share the distribution so far of the colors. Yesterday was hard for me, Q. On top of everything else that I was going through, my favorite color is green, and so I had to let it go because I have my tinfoil hat theory about this, and I think what Chris is doing is, again, like I told you before, it's like the Indiana Jones temple, you know, like only the penitent man shall pass kind of situation. And for all us faithful red balloon diamond handers, we will be rewarded with on Saturday to be able to claim what I hope is a rainbow colored balloon neon cat. And that's what I'm shooting for. That, or I end up with a bunch of like red worthless balloons that are just the majority of them. And then I'm fine.
So nobody liked yellow here. Gifted, I think he said that he got yellow. That actually ends up being a positive.
No,
for you, right?
this is so we're talking about two different projects.
Okay, yeah.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
talking about proceed with caution. I changed my blue proceed with caution for a yellow. I didn't get into this yet, but it's sitting now just below 0.05, and I want to.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. But here's
I'm
the
with
thing.
you.
See,
Live
what's
news.
interesting about this is because, to your point, Q, fewer yellows have been minted. And so you would think that would make it more scarce and more rare. But actually what you've seen in the De La Creche Proceed with Caution is the one that minted out the first, which was the most
red.
adopted color, was the raspberry red one. And the price is the highest by far on that. So it's actually right now going by like what's the most popular versus what's the most scarce is what's being valued more. It's just, again, it's not what I would have initially thought.
And you know what made that happen, GIF, which I find fascinating, is that somebody there with some clout and some knowledge about Des Lucrece chimed in, of course, and did his thread and everything about how his reds are like notorious and they're very, much more highly prized and everything. And so everybody bum rushed the red, right? Which is, I don't know. It's crazy sometimes how like the hive mind can like direct the FOMO of all the degens in the space into certain nooks and crannies of this place. But yeah, I saw that too because I liked the red a lot and I wanted to trade it. And by the time I finally decided to say like fuck it, they were minted out.
This is one of those where it's like I'm one of those collectors that like, all right. So I just need to buy a handful to where I get one of each. That way I'm safe come the weekend.
Well,
Right?
they were
Which
doing
I can't
some
buy
game
them on
mechanics. they were doing some game mechanics for owning all the collection as well. So on top of just like, hey, I need to buy all this stuff.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, are we in court?
Well, that's the other. Well, it's all a lot of it's speculation. Like some of they're I think some of them, like the artists are like tipping their hats certain ways and like giving hints and shit. But like a lot of people speculate, hey, if you collect one of each, then something else will happen. You know, so it's all just different game theories with like really simple mechanics that makes it fun. Never mind. I was gonna chime in with something.
All right. Well, I got some like.
Okay, real quick. I'm gonna go on a weird tangent, real quick. I'm gonna keep this brief, but like one of the things that it got me thinking of is, kind of all of the different assumptions that we've made over the last couple of years about like what's valuable, what's going to be valuable in the NFT space. Because I remember in early 2021, by early 2021 degen logic, what I was thinking was, hey, if Coinbase NFT is going under, then the NFTs that were minted through Coinbase would be scarce and rare. And that would actually make them more valuable, that I had a Coinbase NFT that I minted at some point. And I was just thinking about that this morning. And like, I don't know if that's actually accurate, but I remember specifically that was like, if there was a mistake or if something didn't last very long and it was a specific era in time during a specific time, then that would make it valuable. I just don't know if that's playing out yet.
That is interesting, man. That's an interesting take. You have to have the rarest of those collections in those cases. Again, like I'll use personal experience. CryptoKitties was a really rare moment in time. Only the most rare are worth anything at this point. That's maybe the NBA Top Shot works the same. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those where it's like what happens over time, right? Like I think like one thing that people forget is like what was happening with like NFTs during this whole thing was like such a short timeline compared to like a normal like collectible, right? Like typically you see years before like a collectible you buy today is worth more than it was when you bought it, right? Like a typical collectible you buy and you fucking store, you put it up and you appreciate it or whatever. And then 5, 10, 20 years later, 80 years later, right? Baseball cards, you look at baseball cards, you look at comics, like you have to have baseball cards from like the 40s for them to be worth a damn, right? Like you have to have like comics that were made in the 50s or 60s for them to be worth more than $1, like unless you get like these super rare runs and things like that, right? So yeah, I think it's kind of the same. I think like it's just kind of like why I still have my GPK OS1 cards that I still have on wax. It's like I think in 10 years, people are gonna be like, fuck, man, like that was like a moment, you know what I mean? And like, and that's like when like there's all of a sudden this big traction happened. Maybe there's some value in that, right? It's kind of like to Quantum's point, kind of like V1 punks, right? Like there's, to me, there's a huge argument out there.
Well, those are holding like
V1 punks.
They're holding a 5 ETH floor. I was checking, I saw them on Blur.
Really?
It's something. Yeah, I mean,
it's would have gotten in when they were like way underneath.
That's something.
There's an argument there, right? Like V1 punks has an argument. Like they really were the original punks before it like had like, they had to reset and do all that shit. Like when you look at like, I personally, this is just me, but as a collector, having collected for a really long time, I think in 40 years, V1s are going to be worth way more than the V2s. Fight me.
Just got to wait 40 years, y'all.
Yo, people are going to be like, yo, V1s are the original. They were legit. Like that's what kids do, man. They come up and they're like, yo, I want that OG. Like, like
what you're getting at as well is like there's going to be increased demand, right? Like that's basically what you're saying. The supply is stagnant, right? V1 punks are always going to stay at whatever supply they are unless something crazy happens. Then once increased demand comes in, we'll see a little bit of an increase in these projects that maybe are just like, I wouldn't call them dead at this point, but like not valuable, So, so it's a fair point. I see a lot of great comments in chat. Biggie, you want to get something before?
No, I was just gonna say, and sometimes like the rarity, like to what Ronin is saying, is like the rarity is not determined by the scarcity of the trait, but by the achievements of a certain individual or a certain collective, or because the provenance argument wins over time. So yeah, like rarity is not set in stone. It can be transient. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Fantastic comments coming through. Although Quantum Variant says 5 ETH, but 5 ETH will be $50 in 40 years. And then he followed up by saying it's going to be 50K. Thank you for clarifying, Quantum Variant, because $50 in ETH in 40 years.
Quantum
that's not what I'm looking for.
is a Ripple bull.
Cam Taylor saying should have been a rewards program for existing Porsche owners and enthusiasts while creating mechanics to onboard new fans into an aspirational brand. Wow, that's really well said. Marty McFly saying not a Porsche fan, but how can they have a track record when new? Close your ears, Biggie. They shouldn't have to kiss Web3 ass. I think it's the same as Tim Ferriss. He's long gone since his drop. Do we have an update from Cockpunch here at all for you?
He's not long gone. I'm sorry to say.
All right.
Let's just leave it at that. We said it. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. I think they released last week, was it? Like an episode, which I still need to catch up on. I've been bad on it. Some ultimate cockfighting championships are coming up on the Discord, which are pretty enjoyable. But no, he's not long gone. He's building. He's working.
People have to like understand, man. It takes time. Like we got so impatient, like with COVID and this instant gratification. Like I
it's
thought
old
it was bad.
Marty. Look, it's old Marty's back. You know, we got to cut him some slack, right? It's all right.
Yeah.
All right, we are getting on into the next topics. The next couple topics are like extremely quick news from me, but I did want to point out that we are getting community topics coming in. Oscar saying best practices for builders, best practices for holders. Donar saying story idea. How did each of you get into NFTs? And we also have Justin Casey saying since we're almost in February, let's talk a little baseball. Specifically, any thoughts, ideas where you can best position yourself in the digital collectibles game if you are a sports fan. So that's a strong contender for number one when it comes to the community topics. Go into that tweet, folks, and leave a community topic. Ronin will pick one that he wants to talk about. I'll drop the link right there.
I wanted to answer them all.
I know. Those are good ones.
Dude. Yeah.
It's gonna be a short episode, Jacob. Short episode.
100% a short episode. Short, quick news from me. I have a couple that I want to get out of the way really quick. Yatsu had this tweet come out the other day, I believe just yesterday or the day before. He's giving away 100 Movaverse Realm tickets. I don't know where these are sitting right now. They did this like interesting drop where it was just for like partners of Animoca Brands and Movaverse. So like if you owned certain NFTs in the Animoca Brands universe, you got a Movaverse NFT, as well as if you worked at Animoca Brands. It was an interesting, drop. I haven't followed where those tickets are today. Maybe I could pull them up, but wanted to throw that into the chat as well. And then I had one more that I wanted to get out of the way. CyberKongz, we don't talk about enough, unfortunately. Ooh. I don't know if this is a CyberKongz like specific. It says ancient relic. Did you remember to bring luck anon inspired by CyberKongz play and collect? Unfortunately, I don't think we have any CyberKongz like holders up here, right? Like Hash Rhymes, I think is involved in that ecosystem. I never did. Unfortunately, that's one of my losses. I got pitched. I got pitched a long time ago by a community member, Crypto Lander, and never bought in. But yeah, I wanted to kind of show that. I did have an issue there. Let me see. So I don't know if this is a CyberKongz backed drop or some type of interesting mint, but I wanted to drop that in chat for you guys as well. So those are quick two news pieces. We can get to arc.net, Biggie. You want to hit that?
Yeah, that was a quickie one. It's a little bit unrelated, but I know that some of our audience here is very tech savvy and they like to find out about new things. And this is something I've been enjoying a lot. You can sign up for the beta and they'll send you a link. It takes about a week. It's a new browser. I don't know how excited you guys get about a new browser. Don't get me wrong. I'm still using Brave at the moment. I love Brave. But the UI on this and some of the concepts developed, I've been having a lot of fun playing with it. If you're a person that like has 1,000 tabs open and is sometimes have a hard time concentrating because of all the tabs and things you want to catch up on, this is a really innovative approach to a browser, like the most that I've seen since I've been using browsers ever. It's really, really cool. It's not an NFT. I'm sorry, but
No alpha on this one.
it's really like if you like playing with UI and like again people that are innovating and trying new things, I think you should give this a shot. I really hope they pull it off because you know at first you have to get used to certain little things and how they have it laid out. But the more I use it, the more I admire the people behind this. It's really cool. So had to get it a shout out and had to share it with my beloved crew. So try it out. Definitely. You won't be disappointed. And let me know what you think.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. The other thing that's not an NFT, but I think is an interesting headline is this avatar GPT or character GPT. Do you have that link? Yeah.
I always have that link. If you've sent me the link, I have it ready, GIF.
Alethea, yeah. Okay. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, so basically another AI generator, execution, but it's focused on creating character avatars and you can mint them as NFTs, I guess. So I haven't tried it. This is.
Did you ever check out like their Genesis collection GIF? They had a couple last year or almost. It's been a while. I think they came out with like Aristotle and Napoleon Bonaparte and a couple of like historical figures, which they I guess imbued with like the character. And basically you're able to supposedly have a conversation with it. Anyways, I even recall, I think like the Bankless folks bought one. They're not cheap, but it's a pretty cool, interesting concept where, you can upload one of your avatars and imbue it with I guess a personality, feed it data and bring it to life according to your parameters.
This seems like this is getting closer to literally backing up ourselves in the metaverse and online, right? It's we've already captured our voices and our likenesses, and now we're using AI to generate avatars out of ourselves and upload all of it. This is gonna get creepy and sci-fi so fast.
The future what do they call it? Futurist conversations where you're talking about how the world is going to exist in 10, 20, 50 years, 100 years is interesting to me because we have this in NFTs right now, which I'll get to in a second, or just crypto in general with security, anonymity. All these things are kind of converging and also diverging, right? We're instantaneously being able to be tracked by the government more, but also there's been a lot of tech zero knowledge proofs where it's going to allow us to be more anonymous. Well, this exists with me today. NFTs primarily, we're all sitting up here. We usually have profile pictures that aren't us, but then we also have at the exact same time the ability to create us more so with AI. Though that's the coolest conversations to me with futurist talk is how you have two competing elements getting better at the same time. Are happening.
And also, I love thinking about the future, but especially, that Ethereum is going to be $50 in 40 years. Whoo!
Yeah, 50. Can't wait for that. I'll be on the street.
Sent you two links, Q, regarding Alethea. These are their initial Genesis, releases last year. So see, you could get Dracula and we see the Godfather.
No, this has to be Polygon, right? This is not.
No,
ETH.
man. This is ETH, and then the other link that I sent you, which you can click afterwards. But check out one of them. Open them up and it's been a while. I don't remember if they actually talk and stuff if you press play.
Fluff World's supposed to do something. Where's
Holy shit.
Where's what's his name?
That is creepy as fuck, actually.
And then check out the
like that where they were making AI brains that you were going to be
those are the brains. So there's those, and then there's the other ones that Fluff World came up with that are the competition to these guys, and I think they even got into some litigation there about their IP and stuff. But so these are the characters already done for you, I suppose. So you can get Edgar Allan Poe or whatever.
17 ETH?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
I'm confused. What makes this collection? I know this is kind of a simp question, but what makes this collection
AI is built in?
I don't understand why someone would buy a 17 ETH of Harry Houdini. Why wouldn't the next AI come around?
So open the other tab that I sent you. So these are the brains, and of course there's rarity or capacity levels to them. And I think like there's ones that are much more expensive because what I think is like you can feed more data into them. So the characters basically are done for you, I think. So I imagine like if it's Dracula, they fed all the Dracula myths and stories of Vlad the
Yeah.
Impaler and all this stuff to kind of
Wow.
imbue it with a character. Now, I've never tried it personally. I remember they did come up with like a sample with, I think it was Darth Vader, like having a and you could have a conversation with Darth Vader and ask it questions and it would answer back and all this stuff. And so I guess, I mean, it's interesting, right? Like it's cool. 17 ETH words. I think we're early for that shit, but
it's fucking
some people.
It's fascinating. I wonder about the value, right? When like another AI can create the same exact process and have the same conversations. Like it's not unique, but you can make the same argument. Like someone could create another Bored Ape and it wouldn't be the Bored Ape. I don't know. Like, anyways, I want to talk about this. It says
this is a rabbit hole, bro.
Yeah, it's a fascinating. I feel like I need to take some shrooms and then have this conversation. Here we go. Bring your NFT to life using an INFT personality pod by Alethea AI. A personality pod enables you to power your NFT with AI, turning it into an intelligent NFT, an INFT. Once your NFT is fused with a pod, you can not only create a unique on-chain and evolving AI-generated personality for your NFT, but also offer powerful AI services within the world's first intelligent metaverse, Noah's Ark.
Yeah. And I just sent you the other link with the competition, which is like which is partnered with Fluff World, and they also came up with brains and like
ASM
characters
brains.
and all that thing.
I remember that one. That's the one I remember.
Yeah,
and
I think
I heard some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I think they've been innovating more. And like I tell you, they got into a bit of a legal scuffle there. It'll be cool. I got airdropped one of these for my fluff, and so I don't know. I look forward to imbuing it with all this stuff that I like to read and see what it says back.
Yeah. And Asmodai is saying that there's one called Soul Chip, which was Mirror World company attaches chatbot soul to NFT. That's crazy. Like that's like, to me is like, oh, so I can just throw like one of these brains in my ape and then like have conversations with like Jimmy the ape, right? Like that's, oh wow.
Yeah,
heady ass conversation we're about to have.
But AI is in the mainstream right now, and so I am definitely going back because I remember back, was it like 2018? There were a couple of like tokens that launched that were all about AI. I don't know if you remember. It's like Matrix World, AGI. What was the other ones? Yeah, there were a couple there.
The Matrix World.
Remember that? Yeah, it was like all these crazy I'm very curious to see which ones have survived, what new ones have spawned, because you're damn certain there's new ones, new and improved ones. But since it's in the mainstream right now, I think it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Not financial advice.
I hadn't seen the acronym INFT, Intelligent NFT, yet. That's the first time I've seen that. But it makes sense, right?
Singularity.
It's like the convergence of NFT, digital identities, avatars, and AI makes total sense. So,
yeah. I mean, I would need to move us back on track. But
what's crazy? Real quick.
So
realizing that somewhere like the other side of metaverse, instead of like the NPCs being totally like non-thinking programmed, that they're actually AIs that you're interacting with, and so they're actually like semi-sentient. Like
that, they could game theory it out in the metaverse. Actually, I'm sure that smarter people than us have figured this out, but they could game theory AI's reaction to humans in a game environment and say, like, did they eventually take over?
Dude, then you throw on your haptic suit. You're in fucking Westworld at that point, bro. You're switching out the different brains. You're switching out the different brains within a certain strata of like avatars. So you've got like different women avatars that have different brains. You just swap them out around the place, and then every time you go in, you're like in a haptic suit, and you're literally living fucking Westworld at this point, y'all.
It's coming, GIF. The singularity is near.
You can smell the metaverse. You can smell they've got a fucking mask.
Oh my god. All right, we're talking about smelling the metaverse.
I was looking for Alice falling down the rabbit hole right there, trying to bring that up, but it's not working out. All right, I'm gonna bring us to something more simple and straightforward, but I think will lead to a pretty cool discussion. Pudgy penguins. Little Pudgies can now travel cross-chain. This is the first time I've seen this, okay? So we've mentioned the gods. We're going to talk about Flow still in just a second, moving to, or Doodles moving to Flow. This is interesting because they're doing multiple chains at once. Like they're basically saying, hey, we're going to come out and offer Pudgy penguins the ability to move to different chains, Arbitrum, Polygon, and Binance all at the same time. First time I've seen that. Correct me if I'm wrong if you've seen an NFT collection go fully cross-chain all at once, but basically they've offered that bridge. So you can go to this site, transfer your little Pudgy everywhere, small in stature but big in personality. Little Pudgies are now available seamlessly across multiple blockchains. Connect your wallet now to transfer your little Pudgy using the Layer 0 on ONFT standard.
Thank you. That is so cool, and that it was inevitable. I think I said it like 2 weeks ago. NFT travel, interchain travel. You're gonna see it. And yes, there will be hacks, many hacks. But I think it's just inevitable, and I think it's really cool. It's going to lead to a lot of innovation, not just like like just being able to maximize like the value propositions and the different functionalities and abilities of each blockchain, right? Which is going to be really cool.
What's the real purpose of doing, like, I understand that interoperability generally is good because it does provide a sort of core utility, like a base, function that, can be very useful. But I'm like, I guess I don't fully understand yet, like, why would I want to move my little Pudgy to Polygon necessarily? Like, what's the extra value?
So I've had a couple of ideas about this, and like one of them I'm pretty happy with because it was a conversation I had with Daniel Calderon, Snowfro's brother, and he was like, "Man, that's pretty cool." And to have somebody of that caliber say you ain't pissing out in the fucking wind is really fucking cool, right? Yeah. But he asked the same question, and I was like, "Well, let's say I have a squiggle, right? And I don't have money to buy another one, but it doesn't end in an uptick. Some people are crazy about these fucking things. The color that it ends with, is it a fuzzy or whatever? It doesn't end in an uptick, man. And I'm just so curious because I'm a fan also of Tezos and all the generative stuff that they're doing. I'm so curious what my fuzzy would have, or my squiggle would have turned out like in Tezos. I want a snapshot. I want a lithograph. I want a copy of my squiggle, but on Tezos. I just want to see it. Like throwing a football or a boomerang. I just throw it, take snapshot, bring it back. Now I have two NFTs, like a version 2 living in Tezos, right?
Yeah.
Maybe tweaked to different parameters or using a different approach to the same render, and I mean, this is just in the generative realm, right? Let's say 2030 is around and we'd have metaverses, but we have metaverses in different freaking blockchains, whether it's Matrix World and Flow, whether it's the Nyan Runner space in Tezos. And I want my Pudgy to be able to visit all of those. Like there's a concert and it's only being held in Flow, bro. I want my Pudgy there.
That makes sense.
I send that motherfucker over.
We're having some pretty high level discussions about things that don't exist yet, and I think like that's interesting because Gift does bringing up on the GM Web3 Morning Show Doodles moving to Flow, and then he goes in to ask people what they think about it, and then no one speaks up, and it's like, well, we talk about interoperability, but who wants it? Who wants it? Who's moving to all these other chains?
Well, and I think it depends on like the project too, right? Like with Doodles moving to Flow, that's like a brand play, right? Like they want Doodles to be like accessible by like everybody and their mom. So like
it's different utilities. Like I think they're just going to be very different.
Yeah, and it's going to be it's going to be like you said, it's going to be almost like a microtransaction type of play, right? Like they're going to probably work with partnerships where you get like, Tommy Hilfiger like clothes for your Doodle. But it'll cost you $5 or $10, right? Like you can do that on Flow effectively. You can't do that on Ethereum, right? Unless you go with like Polygon.
So I think one of the things that I realized as Biggie was kind of explaining some of his thoughts was that having your NFT identity be that sort of like OAuth universal, proof, you have to have interoperability. Your asset has to be able to be read by or interact with other chains, so that no matter what you're doing, you go there and it can read that NFT somehow, right? So right now, I feel like it's not very seamless or smooth, because you have to go through some kind of bridge process, I guess, to like move it over or something. But I think eventually, if an asset is interoperable and it has like whatever code, then it should be like the software you're interacting with should be able to do that process for you, and then it'll be pretty seamless. Like, you've just got the asset, but it can check you in on Binance activations. It can check you in on Flow activations.
Make the point quick, because we have to get on to the next topic.
Well, anyways, that's what's going to happen with duplicators. Duplicators are not going to be bridged over to Flow, because they're going to have functionality in Polygon or Ethereum, wherever the hell they live. What's going to happen, it's what they're calling like an Oracle bridge verification, basically, that is able to verify that you own the wallet that holds the duplicator, and that's going to generate your on-chain Doodle 2 on Flow, right? Which is, I think, a cool solution to the idea of maybe not even having to bridge your asset at all in some cases, which can be useful and safe. Anyways, you get the point.
Yeah, no. And I want to follow up on that, Biggie, because in this topic, and we want to get on to Kevin Rose real quick and get Ronin's take, or if you want to talk on Doodles instead, I'm cool with either. But Pudgy's is doing this weird thing, which I think, it doesn't have to be done this way. The bridging doesn't have to be done, but they're doing a soulbound token. So if you move the little Pudgy, which like Doodles, it's not the OG collection, it's the secondary collection. If you move these little Pudgies, they're soulbound. So that you can't even sell them on the new chain, which I think is interesting, man. Like, that's what you're kind of getting at.
It's kind of, yeah, like for the purpose, right? Like for the purpose of what Biggie's saying. So that makes sense. I do think like there's that, for me, like that's a cool way of allowing you to expand that brand, right? Like you now people can enter and get a Doodles 2, or Doodles holders can verify ownership of a Doodle and get their Doodle transferred to like the Doodles 2 universe, right? To be able to do all this cool stuff, right? So to me, I think it makes a lot of like sense for a brand to do something like that. It's why you see a lot of them shift to like Polygon assets after their original launch on Ethereum, right? Like, because Polygon assets are a lot easier to disseminate. The gas fees are a fraction of cost. Same thing with Flow.
Okay, love it. We are going to get into the biggest news of the day. Ronin, we can do this either way. Do you want to touch on Doodles 2 and Flow, or do you want to hit the Kevin Rose phishing scam?
I don't know if I have much to say about the Kevin Rose thing. I think that like when it does come down to it, to Gift's point earlier, is like, I think like we as people who are like voices in the space, right? Like, so like we as Web3, I think we got to do better about like just making like security more of like a conversation when it's just part of the conversation, not only when these massive like hacks take place and when like shit hits the fan, right? Outside of that though, I think like, it's just like, we got to do better about telling people to like how to secure their assets and like to be careful about things like that and just be aware of it. There's not much that I think we can say on getting phished that we haven't said a million times already. Like it's unfortunate. Man, I really wish that like, we had like much better things in place, like more like warm wallet solutions that were being utilized and stuff in the space. For anyone who doesn't know, warm wallet basically acts as like a buffer between like your wallet and like the transactions you're signing. But take advantage of like Pocket Universe if anybody is looking for something to help like make transactions more like readable as like a human being. Pocket Universe acts as a buffer, and so every time a transaction tries to get pushed to your wallet, it gets pushed through Pocket Universe first. Pocket Universe then pops up a screen that you have to confirm, and that screen will tell you in words what the signature you're trying to sign is. So it'll say, this is not malicious. You are not signing authorization for any assets. This is for sign-in purposes only. Or it'll say, you are signing away then access to the entire Board Ape Yacht Club library. If you do this, they can access every asset. And it like literally clearly tells you exactly what you're doing. So I highly recommend Pocket Universe. And I would be very surprised, and this is just big picture, if MetaMask didn't fucking go buy Pocket Universe and just integrate that straight into MetaMask. Because that's part of what they've said is part of their roadmap. So we need to see it soon anyway. But outside of that, man, I appreciate you guys so much, man. I love y'all. Like everybody in chat who's giving all the love. I appreciate you guys, and it's always a good conversation. I gotta jump though. But yeah, man, I will catch you guys next week for sure.
Take it easy.
Oh, and I meant to tell you, Gif, you know what I did before I came on the show today? I went and played 2 hours of pickleball. Your boy Drew got me some pickleball. He told me I needed to make sure I let you know I played pickleball today.
Yeah, man. Drew, shout out Double D. He's getting deep into pickleball, and he's making me a believer. I haven't even played yet, but I'm like, I want to get in on the business of pickleball. This shit's, dude, there's like 36
what about course yesterday, and I went to the intermediate course today, and the coach was like, "You can go play." I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go, let's rock."
Yeah,
but I think it is a business, man.
36 million Americans already play pickleball. So if you didn't know, it's taken off. It's blowing
huge. Up.
Ronin, Prodigy was asking about your podcast. Any little pieces you can give us?
We decided on the name today. I can't tell you guys what that is. We're recording the
That's my move.
Because the way we did it is like we recorded all these episodes. And now we're going to go back and we're going to record like an intro buffer that kind of says, hey, this is the mindset we were in when we recorded this episode. This is what you should expect from the conversation you're about to listen to. And then hopefully we get that out in like a week, 2 weeks max. So if you're interested in the conversation of Web3 and mental health, and that's an interesting conversation for you, definitely jump in. We have not secured our first guest yet. We were just talking about today. We've got somebody that we really want to have a chat with, who she's a huge artist in the space, and she's willing to have it. So hopefully we lock that in, and that'll be probably one of the first episodes we end up putting out after the first one. So I appreciate you guys asking about it. I'm tight.
Absolutely, man. All right, dude.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
take off, man.
Take it easy.
Later, guys.
And then there were 3.
Biggie, I
it's
gotta say,
good to have Ronin, man. What a good guy.
Yeah, I appreciate you rounding out this triumvirate Monday through Thursday this week. Dude,
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. You know I am.
We're gonna miss Biggie a lot. Apparently he's moving on us. He's making moves, and then like I don't know what we're gonna do. We gotta find another. Yeah, we gotta find another Moonbird or a Doodle or somebody.
Nah.
Biggie, use INFTs.
There can only be one.
Yeah,
like
create a clone of yourself, Biggie. INFT yourself.
Okay, so Ronin.
Hey, all it means is that I might pop in a little buzzed, a little drunk, late at night, and be like, let me check up what these guys are doing.
Q, you looked like you were about to bust a gasket there. I know. Are you gonna go in?
I already did this morning, and I'm gonna try to hold myself back on this security and hacking and phishing scams and social engineering scams that can all be solved by the fucking main wallet actually caring about the people that are using their fucking app. Ronin just took us in depth about this third-party application that is telling you basically what MetaMask should already be doing. Thank you, and I'm going to give a quick shout out to NFT Nick from Nifty Portal. The fact that MetaMask doesn't give a shit about consumers is bonkers. Their product is how everybody gets hacked. We don't need Twitter threads on security. We need a product that works. Could not have said it better, my goddamn self. They get off on this stuff, man. I'm not saying get off like they actually get off like physically. They get hidden in this conversation is the fact that MetaMask should actually be putting out things to better secure their users against this stuff. Again, if someone is a developer in chat and can tell me if this process would actually work, the NFT project, hopefully, again, it's going to be trouble to do this at scale. What do you? I'm going to start wiping my eyes. And
I'm enjoying.
I'm
enjoying this. I'm
Bored Ape Yacht Club comes out with a mint. They submit to MetaMask this large mint that everybody's going to be trying to get in on, and subsequently a lot of people are going to try to scam users on. They submit the contract address for the mint to MetaMask. MetaMask now shows when someone is going to mint, that is the contract that was submitted, and you have like a nice little green check mark that this is the contract minute. Why can't that be done? Why do we have to
basically a wallet verification of big projects. So another verification protocol of some kind.
It can't be that fucking hard.
It's an interesting thing, right? Like you could add it to your checklist as a project, when you're launching a project to try and make sure that you get verified before you launch. I think that there's probably that and a number of other possible solutions, right? Like, I don't know if that's the right one or not, or how difficult that would be, but like, I'm sure there's other things that can be done, which I think is what everybody's saying here. Like, MetaMask just doesn't seem to be doing enough fast enough to really be stopping a lot of this scam and fraud from happening. And it really is very damaging whenever these big exploits happen.
It's a non-starter for us to have a mass adoption conversation when MetaMask, the most used wallet in the space, and I know Marty was saying you can use another wallet. I'm gonna die on this fucking hill. They're the most used wallet in the space. It's like if Coinbase,
where you at, Marty?
No, that was because that's an old Marty tweet. No, because that's an old Marty tweet. Yeah, I can use another exchange other than Coinbase, but they're the most fucking used. We're talking about mass adoption up here, and it's a joke when a guy like Kevin Rose can get hacked. He's one of the most notable people in our space, and he can get hacked. You want my mom to come into this fucking space? It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, and nobody talks about MetaMask. Thank you, Nick, for pointing this shit out. Nobody fucking talks about it. They could easily do like 3 or 4 steps to make this never happen. We're up here, Kevin Rose. Oh, man. We're up here every other fucking week talking about this shit, and MetaMask does nothing.
It's infuriating. I get it. I feel it, and I just want to say I've never seen Q this pissed off yet in my whole existence, but it's justified because to your point, this isn't like a 1 off, 2 off, 3 off. It's like, okay, it's a pattern of really, really shitty things that are detrimental to our space that in theory should be able to be stopped, right? Like there should be more. So I get it. Y'all give Q some love. Like dude, the episode. Throw a like on the episode for Q and his angst.
Me and Biggie both got after it this week.
It's so justified. I agree with you, Q. Like it is. Ledger can't take over fast enough. I can't. But here's the thing, and like at some point, as justified as this is, you can't negate the other side of this, which is the human error, right? And there's so many levels to this. As I said, I spent all of last night like just doing wallet hygiene because there had been things that I'd put off for a while, even though I fucking know better, because gas was high, because I had to go do something, whatever. It's only human. Like that's the thing. It's only human, and then you have this false sense of security that you can handle it because you know better, and it's not going to happen to you. So I think like people need to have, 1, a little bit of compassion, and 2, in the end, as angry as we can get with these companies and the people building these products, like you also need to take some responsibility upon yourself, because in every facet of human history, scammers have existed and devised ways to fucking take what's not theirs. And whether it's Web 2, Web 1, real life, medieval times, I don't care. They will always find a way. Like to think that that you're always going to be able to be foolproof is unrealistic, unfortunately. And so you just have to have, like we've talked about in this space many times, just fucking checklists, and just you got to keep these routines tight. Like you cannot continue. I don't know. For me, it was obviously like it lit a fire under my ass, and so that's why I stayed up into the 3 a.m.s last night just doing that, right? But it needed to get done.
And if you want to hear more hot takes about all of this, then check out the GM Web3 show this morning, because we talked a lot about it. I personally don't really want to keep talking about it because I don't know. I feel like we've said a lot of the same stuff. Also, Q, I just want you to know how difficult it was for me to restrain myself from making a bad joke when you brought your mother into the conversation. But I did, for the sake of
her honor,
this, for her honor, for your honor, for the sake of this very serious conversation around security. I restrained myself.
Yeah. A lot of comments coming through. We'll get to them. Thank you, Giff, for not bringing my mother into this.
You did.
Yeah, I brought her into this. For the point of making an example that it's absolutely hilarious to me. It's the funniest conversation that anybody could ever have about mass adoption in this space. No one gives a shit if they're going to lose their 10, 20% of their net worth because they accidentally clicked a link. Could you imagine?
Yeah, because links are fucking everywhere, and scammers know that people be clicking links all the time. It's one of the biggest issues in the space is security. And yes, I agree. It's a big problem. We need to do more. I just don't know that we're going to solve it here right now.
No, we're not.
And you know what? If you guys want to see like some good takes on it, because like there's so many approaches, but I don't know if any of you guys out there love like David Mamet. Great playwright. He did Glenn Ross, also an amazing screenwriter and movie director. He's got 2 movies one of them is called The Heist with Gene Hackman, and the other one, and the other one is The Spanish Prisoner. Look that movie up, The Spanish Prisoner. It's amazing. It's all about what they call a long con, and like the things that these people will devise and do in order to, strip somebody of their livelihood. And it's unfortunate, but man, and trust me, I boggles the mind all my time. I always wonder like why such brilliant people that still requires so much work, right? Because you don't want to get caught and this and that. It's like you could make it if you're that brilliant, if you're that obsessed with getting that, like you could do it normally and not have to worry about going to jail and like do great and be recognized for it. But unfortunately, I think it's just they're built different. They're just built different. I don't know if it's a chip on their shoulder or just bad habits from an early age. But yeah, man, there's some dark, fucking nasty people out there. And
dude, these comments are absolutely amazing.
I get to some of them. I would love to hear some of these. I want to show you something that just popped up yesterday, and of course, maybe it's like something that made it to my MetaMask late or something like that. I got this yesterday, which was odd timing. An improved token allowance experience. I got the notification yesterday, and I said, yes, I would like to take part in this experimental beta feature that you guys are rolling out and should have rolled out 4 years ago. But I'm just saying, it's odd timing. It says, turn this on to go through the improved token allowance experience whenever a DApp requests an ERC20 approval. I haven't used it. I haven't seen the notification. I haven't used my MetaMask since this actually came, but just odd timing again.
I think I saw that a couple weeks ago. So maybe they're just rolling it out, to different users. Again, I'm like one of the first in the Starbucks Odyssey program. Maybe MetaMask likes me too. I don't know. Also, odd coincidence, or is it a coincidence that Marty McFly shares the same initials with MetaMask? I don't know. Are y'all seeing some weird shit here? Or is it just
M&Ms? M&Ms everywhere.
I cannot wait. Yeah, those M&Ms are horny too. Watch out. I cannot wait to see all of the over-dramatized like hacker movies about the crypto space that come out over the next 5 years. Like honestly, the hacker genre and like the what do you call it? Like the Ocean's 11 like that.
If it has Angelina Jolie in it, I'm all for it,
dude. I'm here for the high quality Hollywood crypto heist movies that are coming. That's all I got to say.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best. I pretty much got my shit out. Obviously earlier, but Marty's kind of trying to bring me back in, and I'm not going to take the bait here. But
he is baiting Marty, you, bro.
He is baiting
that's bait.
He says Q's acting like MetaMask run by North Korea and instantly steal your cash in tornadoes.
No.
I'm not saying that.
That's bait. That's bait. Q.
Let me address it a little bit there, because I think what Marty McFly is trying to do is to get us to put its spotlight and attention on the fact that Kevin Rose fucked up.
He did.
There you go. I said it. I said it. He fucked up. Oh my God. He fucked up. A human fucked up. Oh God. Yeah, he fucked up. It happens. Man, I hope it never happens to me. I hope it never happens to you. I hope it never happens to any of our listeners. But man, that's human fallibility, right? He screwed up, man. He messed up. And I bet you nobody is beating himself up more than fucking Kevin Rose. And you know what's worse though? It's like that I understand. It's like, okay, it's not 100% MetaMask's fault. It's not, maybe they could do some stuff better. And at the same time, Kevin Rose, I think he'll be fine. He'll bounce back stronger than ever. He's got a great support system. He's a big boy. He knows what's up. It's just I'm sure he's going through some legitimate and justified deep pain at the moment. What's like interesting about what's happening right now, at least to me, is that there's like three different things going on. Two specific ones, right? Like there was the proof of conference thing that really got a whole bunch of people riled up, and it bled out into the socials where people magnified it and started talking about shit without ever having listened or known what the project is about. And then the hack happened. And those two things should not bleed into each other. Although I do find it, I mean, my tinfoil hat here on, like how, a little bit suspicious that it happened on the tail end of all this FUD and anger towards the project founders and the community there, right? I hope they catch whoever did it. I do think this just can't keep fucking happening, right?
I mean,
like
if anything, he might have just been distracted by a bunch of shit and noise.
What was he trying to do?
Now, here's the thing.
I think it was a meme card. Here's
the thing that like really starts burning me up when it happens to people like Kevin Rose, when it happens to people like NFT God. Like these are good people in the space. These are people that are trying to move forward, to onboard people. They're creative. They're putting their names and reputations. They're fully doxxed. They're trying to be creative. Kevin Rose could be in a fucking island, retired. He does this because he loves people. He loves tech. He's not and when you see the space immediately start to berate them and kick up these people while they're down, like who's going to be left to innovate, right? Like, why do you feel so entitled to like some form of indentured servitude when you pay a lot for an asset? First of all, if you paid a lot, then either you see it as an investment. Like go ask all the angel and VC investors out there, like once they sign a check, your job is to enable and to help, And one of the things that Kevin said, like when he first started launching everything, is like, hey, we are gonna mess up and we're gonna course correct and we're gonna make better. We'll get some things right, we won't others. But motherfuckers like you little shits out there that are hide behind your goddamn keyboard, you goddamn cowards, like never done a goddamn thing in your life. Like I bet
you're talking about the Discord.
I'm talking about like these Twitter fudders, man. Like I wish we could like invite them to get on like the mats or like really like you do not understand what it takes to like be creative, to onboard so many people, to put your fucking neck on the line and your voice out there, and then you feel entitled to like just run over people's lives and like blaspheme and kick people while they're down. It just pisses me the fuck off. That's like what I've been kind of like conflated about, right? Like I can understand like there's an argument to be had about you getting a free ticket to conference and whether you think the team's doing the right things or not, right? Whether you have faith in them or not. But then this thing happens to the founder and you use it to fucking double down and kick him. I mean, come on, man. Like that's
what you call the cheap seats, Biggie. Those are the cheap seats, right?
People come into space for a quick buck. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. It's anybody who's never put themselves out there, invested themselves heavily into a project, and really like put in the work to try and build something themselves. Anybody who's never like really dedicated and committed themselves to trying to create something really difficult and hard and go out in the world and sell that thing and entertain people and bring them into your community anybody who's not done that and actually
Yeah.
really invested their time, energy, resources, blood, sweat, and tears into a product and put their name and their lives behind it, and they just sit there and they fucking throw, spitballs and fucking
It's man in the
tomatoes.
arena.
The man in the arena.
Those are the cheap seats, man. Like all those people.
And honestly, when I like fucking, I mean, I don't know how many times I had to say it, dude. Like, wag me. I'll fucking say it till the day. I don't care what you feel about it or not. Wag me. Like, please. We're such a fucking tiny speck in this tech space, and we're trying to like onboard people, and you're like trying to throw shit at Yuga and call proof a scam and this and that. What the fuck are you doing? Wag me, motherfucker. Wag me. Or wag these nuts.
Can we get an acronym for that? Wag these nuts. What? I need that acronym. Marty's making some great points. Jack's Hideaway, Asmodai. I'll get to some of these. To your point about the investing, like it's so fast and hard in this space that people get like short-term timeframes. To your VC point, I was able, fortunately, to get into Flow. Flow was raising around traditional VC to start the protocol. It was before the CoinList. It was a seed round. It was a seed round investment. 10 cents I was able to get into Flow. Do you know what Flow got up to? And I'm trying to get to the point of like timelines. Flow got up to $46.
Same boat.
$46, but you're locked. You're locked for years. But I'm just kind of bringing this back to your point.
Thank you.
The NFT space, you expect to flip instantaneously. You get a mint, I want to go to OpenSea right there and be able to flip. That's not really how investing works a lot of the time.
No, and it's like, I want you to raise my floor price. 2x is not enough. I need a 5. I need a 10. I want a free ticket to the fucking conference. I want a foot massage from the fucking CEO. And, the fuck, man? Like, who are these people? Like, who told them that's okay, how to behave? Like, I honestly, like, if there's devs out there that know, like, I can't wait till we get those haptic suits you're talking about, GIF or something, like a way to check somebody digitally. Like, well, yeah, like punch somebody through the fucking monitor and like just be like, what? Like, say it, like,
yeah.
Please develop that technology.
A lot of great comments. The main point that Marty's trying to get across, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, we want you guys to have a platform. We're
it's
here.
Basic,
we're doing
and
this
I
together.
totally agree and understand.
It's Kevin's fault. It's Kevin's fault.
He fucked up.
And there needs to be more probably education in the space, and it happens around these hacks. I think stuff like this, as much as it hurts for Kevin, it's actually good for the overall space. I do think on the long term, because what happens is people are like, holy shit, I need to get my stuff together. I need to take care of myself so that this does not happen to me.
Well,
these high-profile hacks.
One interesting data point on that. Ledger sales like spiked after the FTX thing. I think that's like
there you go. There you go. My only GIF, I want you to talk about this. I just want to wrap this up. Just why is improved token allowances? Why is token allowance experience on experimental tab? That's my only thing. That's all I'm saying about MetaMask is like this could have been done a long time ago so that we don't have these situations happening, and it needs to get to a floor level of UI before I introduce my parents and they have any type of network.
Well, Ian Carr came out, obviously he's a good friend of Kevin's and doing the condolences thing, but also talking about what Ledger is doing about it, and I can't wait for it to take over, because unfortunately, like you said, complacency is a bitch. And like, I mean, I'm looking at that stupid little fox right now in my browser, in every goddamn browser. And it's like, yeah, it's just, I know how to use it. It's freaking convenient. I have a whole bunch of other wallets that I've played with and tried on my extensions. They're all turned off because it's the one that's most convenient for me at the time, and it just works. But at the same time, to your point, Q, God damn, like we need better things. I mean, and in this one, I'll throw some freaking flowers to something like Phantom on Solana, which is a superior product and is like 1/10 of the lifespan of freaking MetaMask. It's ridiculous. Yeah. We're gonna have Yeah, we're having a parliament at 1 p.m. today, and I think we're gonna like go through the rundown of that in case some of you want to hear it from the horse's mouth as opposed to your neighborhood futter that doesn't know shit. You know, like join the spaces and get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. And I mean, Biggie, I don't know what that little fox ever did to you, frankly. You
I
seem
like
very
foxes.
angry at it. You seem very angry at that little fox in your browser.
Best tool in the space right here in front of us, by the way.
These are all great. Yeah, this is an important tool. I think, you know what, pull that up one more time because, again, as far as like actionable educational stuff, if you don't know what revoke.cash is, it's an important thing to know because it very easily allows you to disconnect your wallets from all of the things that you might have connected to. And one of the important things to understand about how a lot of these phishing, exploit, scams happen is that you sign something and it could be sitting in your wallet for months or years connected to your wallet. And then, and you may not even know that you are compromised. And then whenever the hacker or, quote unquote hacker or whatever scammer gets around to wanting to exploit that, then they can, and you are compromised because you signed something a year ago. So this is why good hygiene requires you to more often than not, like I do this very regularly now because you can in MetaMask you can very easily disconnect. You can use revoke.cash, you can do it through Etherscan, but I very regularly now as part of my hygiene go through and disconnect from all the things that I've connected to, because again that's the way in. Once you've connected to something, people can access your wallet potentially. So revoke.cash, great tool. Glad we're shouting that out. I want to watch the BasedHeads video. I don't know how many other things we're going to talk about.
We got Doodles and that's it, and we'll watch the BasedHeads video. Let's do it.
Short episode, Jacob. Jesus Christ.
It's been, can I just say this? It's been a crazy fucking week with the amount of mints we've talked about with that have done well, right? Like even disregard of Porsche, which is in itself one story that could have taken up the entire week.
Porsche's doing great. I don't know.
I'm just saying a month ago, Porsche would have taken up the entire week of news. Like that would have been it. Yeah. Now we're getting like 4 or 5 like different minutes. Maybe it's just because we're out there, but it just feels like it feels nice to have this amount of activity.
There's activity going on, man. I agree with you, Q. So we're going into the flow thing?
We're going into the BasedHeads video. I'm not sure this is real, Don R, but it's a funny comment. This makes me glad I lost all my money last year.
No.
That's funny. All right. Okay. What do we got, GIF? This is a BasedHeads video?
New BasedHeads video. Yeah. I think it's just like a primer overview. I haven't watched it, so I kind of just want to watch it and just see what it is. But I think it's just like a, hey, here's more info about the project type of thing.
Okay, let me make sure. I always have to mute. Let me get it.
I'm just always excited for more super massive content around BasedHeads. So we're going to be following along.
Oh, hello, you. So you're wondering about the BasedHeads, who they are, what they are, and what on earth Fraz is. Well, let me tell you. It starts with me, supermassive content creator and legendary storyteller. I built a brand new content creation studio called BasedAF. Wow! Our focus is the metaverse and all the crazy things being built in and around it. It's a badass collection of shows built using live action, Unreal, Unity, AR, VR, and everything in between. As a content creator, your audience is everything. So we decided to go a step further and give ours an identity, an attitude, and even their own storyline.
Are you ready for the show?
The BasedHeads represent our superfans. Owning one gives you a VIP ticket to the show in the shape of backstage access to us, the creators.
We're exactly where we thought we would be.
Yes. 2 perks normie fans won't get, like games, drops, insane giveaways, VRM models, merch, and the chance to be in the show itself. The BasedHeads, well, they live in Trashland, a metaverse nightmare of bad ideas and low-effort garbage. And they're ruled over by Karma, the ass-kicking love spawn of Jigsaw and KDA.
You're in my world now, baby.
But the real kicker is Trashland's own brand universe. Brands like Fraz, Headcrank, Boobies, and DGAF. Now we're creating these products for real, in base, inimitable style. Don't believe me? Well, what's this? Oh yeah, Fraz. These will be limited edition drops. Collect a BasedHead from all 6 brands and you'll get those drops for free. Better yet, we'll be releasing franchise licenses for the brands so you can use them to create your own products or your own derivatives or whatever it is you want to do. BasedHeads is first and foremost a metaverse content monster. We're aiming to become the MTV of the metaverse, a scrappy, punky network of lunatics at the cutting edge of metaverse entertainment. We've already successfully run the first ever ultra marathon in VR. 9 hours of pain for yours truly. We've also launched the metaverse's new favorite rap group, MEAT. We're just getting started, so start by asking yourself this question: am I based? Or am I based as fuck? I know which I'd rather be.
Fantastic.
I know which I'd rather be.
I love that guy. Super massive. Jack's always saying hilarious. He calls himself legendary. Love it. Same. That dude's legendary.
I mean, as a panel of legends up here, I mean, I can.
We concur.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just a great front man, a great leader. He's got experience. And again, he's just like, you want to buy into teams that you believe in. I think this guy is going to keep going. He's got a lot of energy, man. Like, dude, he just ran 9 hours in a fucking like metaverse suit in a studio just over the weekend. Like, bet on the jockey. You know what I'm saying? Like, sheesh. He's crazy.
I want to bring up the NFTGO for BasedHeads real quick and see what we got. It looks like we had some activity here in like the last day or two.
I'm wanting to get to all 6, but now I got to give one of mine away. So like, it's gonna get harder for me to get to all 6. But
what are they at right now?
They were around 0.1. Yeah, 0.11, 0.12.
Dude, that's like close to mint price. So
it's not bad. I
0.12 now. But yeah, I think they minted for 0.08. So
we have done enough rabbit holes for one day, but it doesn't rub me the wrong way. It's just interesting to look at the space and be like, Porsche is doing all of this, like liquidity. It got to like 4x mint price, but you have Supermassive here doing a really fucking cool thing, and it's like it's not seeing a 2.7 floor, which there's a whole bunch of different mechanics in there, but it's like, okay, Porsche is fucking seeing all this volume, but BasedHeads, come on, man.
It's only a matter of time, Q. We can check in on it in a couple of years and see who survived in the metaverse. Nobody's going to want a Porsche in the metaverse. And if you do get one,
I don't know.
And I'm walking by it, I hope I'm able to kick it.
I think he's trying to put hands on people this week, man. I think
it's really interesting when you start to get into dating, gender dynamics, and sociology, socializing in the metaverse, how we signal our identities and how we signal our status. Because, what will the OG brands bring to that versus the new crypto native Web3 brands, right? Like, would you rather have a Porsche NFT or a Bored Ape or a Doodle? Anyway, all these things are matter.
What's worth more? What's worth more? At the end of the day, that's it.
So actually, quick teaser.
Hoverboard.
So dating in the metaverse is one of the first topics that we touched on the new show Pilot, coming very soon to Web3. And so we talked with our lady co-host, Kelly Pantaleone, about her thoughts about hooking up with people based upon their metaverse identities and what kind of NFTs and stuff they had. So more to come on that very soon.
Love it. All right, we're going to touch on the last topic of the day. Ronin is in chat saying just an hour and a half today, guys. We're not going to spend I feel like we spent a good amount of yesterday's episode touching on duplicators and Doodles too and Flow. So we won't obviously give you the full breakdown, but if you didn't know already, I feel like I did my best Gifted impression there. If you didn't know, Doodles 2 is moving to Flow.
What's the point?
What's the point? Why are they moving to Flow? Is this a good move? I'll summarize by saying I think it's a W for both sides. Doodles gets to be one of the larger PFP projects on that side. It's not using their OG collection, so you're not going to get that big of a blow back from the community. Although, again, they could launch Doodles 2 on Ethereum, and it wouldn't be as risky of a move. Flow, in my opinion, is the bigger W here. They get to actually jumpstart their PFP community, which we saw. If you bring up NFTGO and you look at the market caps of each different sector, whether that be utility, whether that be land, whether that be games, art, photography, PFPs make up the largest percentage of market cap. They get the most people interested in the space and where we're at right now. Flow doesn't have that. I couldn't name you one Flow PFP. Honestly, I couldn't. And I know that they exist.
I could.
I don't. Yeah, Flow avatars. Is that what you're gonna bring up?
Yeah.
Flow avatars. Can you name me two others?
Shit, Q. Okay, no, I need to look at my wallet, but there are some.
Okay, I believe you. I know you're on the front lines, but now they have something that is.
Yeah.
They have a brand that is entrenched
Different.
in the PFP community that they can point to. And I think it's a good move for Flow. Great. We touched on, this is my last thing. We did touch on this yesterday of why did they get paid, like a Frank to God's getting paid $3 million to move to Polygon. I think it has a little bit more to do with the Doodles team being former Dapper Labs team members.
And honestly, so here's what excites me about it, because I think like right now you take a look at the layer ones, the layer twos, and the layer zeros, right? And that's the narrative I think that's playing out, and people are hedging their bets, right? And it's I think even within the layer twos, you know, I think the magnifying glass is obviously in the hype, and all the liquidity and activity right now is on Ethereum, whether Ethereum or Arbitrum, Polygon, you name it, right? Optimism, and soon enough, ZK rollups, which are the ones that I'm most bullish on, right? So I think, you know, when you look at this, and it's easier, right? When you have an EVM chain, even for something like Phantom, to transport your assets from one place to the other and start using that protocol, right? Whereas something like Solana or Flow, it's a little more tedious. They're not EVM. They are completely redesigned from the ground up to be competitors, right? And to emphasize other capabilities, right? And so I'm happy that there's people out there and there's teams like of this caliber that are still willing to explore the boundaries of what crypto protocols can be, right? Because look, I love Ethereum. I'm not, you know, I don't consider myself a maxi. We always say here we're chain agnostic, you know, and I don't know. I can't see a world without Ethereum, right? But at the same time, to me, it's a little bit crazy to think that only Ethereum and EVM chains will have the innovation and the scale and the activity. It's like, okay, yeah, they do right now, and they might for a very long time, and they may be the dominant protocols, right? And Solidity will be the universal language. But I think that there is a world out there for the Nears, the Flows, the Solanas, the Stacks. There's so much, and you see it. Like if you take a little bit of your money and call it travel money or expense, like just kind of like experimental money, and you go into these other chains and these other marketplaces, and you see the communities, there's stuff that's being built that's very cool. And I, for one, have seen certain things that are born in those ecosystems and then adopted by the Ethereum protocols or the Ethereum communities, right? Whether it's innovative concepts for Ethereum's, I think Flovatar did a lot in that respect, right? It's just like showing what could be done. And I can't help but think that Doodles saw that and they were like, oh man, like let's take a page from them and do it. So man, I don't know, I'm excited about it. I think, you know, it is important to always just keep your peripherals open, right? Like don't get blind. I get it. Like most of everything that I do right now is Ethereum, maybe a little Tezos here and there, right? But I always just keep my eyes on everything else. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Near. Love Near, Jack's Hideaway. And yeah, there's just really cool stuff out there that you never know, right? Like just remember when Ethereum came out. Before it was, you know, I mean, hell, I participated in the first DAO queue. I got rugged by the first DAO back in the day.
The ETH DAO?
Yeah, the fucking ETH DAO. And dude, yeah, the reason why fucking Ethereum Classic exists, right? And man, like that was as much functionality and hedging as you could do on that chain, right? Everything else was just speculation. Were smart contracts really going to be great? The minute somebody tried to do something, it got hacked, and we had to fork the fucking thing, right? And it survived, and it's a cockroach, and it's here, and now it's capable of so much more, and stuff is being built on top of it, right? Don't blind yourself to other chains, other protocols that are working on bringing stuff to life. Again, these people that stick their necks out and put their names on the line, that are trying to do something different. Because lo and behold, all of a sudden, it just takes one project, one innovative smart contract protocol or this or that to change everything and put a spotlight on something that's not ETH. Gasp, right? So keep your eyes open, you know?
Good luck following that one. Good luck.
Well, look, so I think obviously Biggie made a lot of points there, a lot of really good ones. One of them was this idea that like all it really takes sometimes to launch a chain, a platform, whatever, into the stratosphere and really build it and take it to the next level is one really, really successful product. And, you know, you saw this with Netflix. Netflix had House of Cards. House of Cards changed the entire trajectory of the entertainment industry, because when Netflix was able to create a high quality drama that captured people's attention, got critical acclaim, won awards, all of a sudden they established themselves as a serious platform. And literally that changed the entire trajectory
Halo
of
on
all
Xbox.
of entertainment. Halo on Xbox. So like, I think he's making a really good point. And like, could Doodles be that for Flow? It remains to be seen, but I think that there's a chance, because again, when you watch that animation, you play that animation for me, like I love this animation. I'm like, dude, this looks amazing. It feels like a cohesive world and brand that I want to be part of. The characters themselves, like the actual NFTs, you know, that you were showing, that they've kind of showcased as like, this is what they're going to look like, these avatars that you can dress, they look really cool, right? And I'm not shitting on that. Like, I think that those look dope, right? I could see why people would want to buy those and maybe get, you know, some cool accessories for it. The issue right now is the sustaining of a community and a brand and a value, right? Because we know Flow can license, they can partner, they can market, they can sell. But can they maintain and sustain anything like long term? That's the big question mark here. And how do they actually treat and build on, you know, this IP? How do they bring it in and then make it something special with longevity that isn't just a couple months, you know, of people buying a bunch of fucking digital crap, you know, that doesn't really amount to much beyond, hey, did you see my cool NFT? I don't think that that's, for me, where I'm at, being in the space now, like, you know, I'm much more artist focused and utility focused. This doesn't necessarily like fall into either of those yet. Like, it feels like a gimmicky expansion on the concept of a PFP right now. And so I'm not saying they don't have bigger plans. They very well might. I just don't know what that is yet. And because of their track record of, you know, promoting things and selling them out for 3 to 6 months and then not doing shit with them, I have a lot of question marks, and I'm not ready to buy in just yet. It looks cool though. I actually think this looks cool, and there's clearly a lot of quality.
Do we know what the supply is for Doodles 2? I'm not informed.
It's 33K.
Okay.
Scroll down. It's right there. 33K.
So definitely a substantial amount. Now, I don't mind. Like, I'm not intimidated.
Yeah, this is the expansion. This is the expansion. This is the little Pudgies. This is the mutant apes. So it's got to be enough to get an economy and
do look cool.
Yeah, and make it affordable. So yeah,
I like them better than Utes. Gotta say.
So the total supply, it says, is 24K.
Okay.
Now that
might be 33K.
Maybe they're getting like original owners are getting airdrops or something.
Maybe.
Or-
But Biggie, I want to get your take there. The one thing in GIF, you brought this up earlier, as it's related to like the long-term success of Doodles, right? Like that, the team is from Dapper. Dapper's created CryptoKitties NBA Top Shot. I'm not going to get into that. But here's his last comment. Having led teams at Dapper Labs for 4 years, I've been through mega fires, scalability issues, and repercussions of inflationary designs.
That's CryptoKitties specifically. That's
and NBA Top Shot.
Yeah.
And
NBA Top
everything
Shot,
they've done.
Yeah.
Right? So I think you brought Poopy's comment up earlier. I thought it was good.
And it's a bold move, right? To say we're going to hedge our bets with flow. And keep in mind, like, so here's something that just like bubbled up in my mind right now. I was thinking about it because, like, yeah, 24K additional supply is no small potatoes. But do remember, Ticketmaster is also on flow, and they have a partnership with Pharrell. And music NFTs have yet to see their time in the limelight. Yet we have not seen. Think about that, how crazy that is. We've seen it for PFPs. We've kind of gotten a glimpse of it with gaming. We really haven't seen much with music, even though we have like people like Cooper Turley out there like really advocating for the space. And just, I mean, he couldn't be shining a bigger fucking spotlight on this. Like, you're not looking. How many are looking? How many are partaking? Nobody. Just wait till the next Justin Bieber or something is discovered in that space. It's going to blow up, right? And so I'm a little bit starting to get like jazzed up about this, because I can't help but think that if you're on flow, and Ticketmaster's on flow, and Pharrell is on flow, and Doodles is on flow, you might see some synergies there play out. And again, going back to what we're talking about, all it takes is one cool freaking story, right? Like Doodles 2 invited to Pharrell concert, backstage passes for free. Take them. I don't know, like just thinking like what the PR would look like for something like that. You never know what designs these teams have. But again, to that tweet from Poopy, like, it's not his first time around the block, dude. And so the fact that he's betting on flow, well, it bodes well for us, right, Q, who have had to hold through peak and trough, through all the fucking FUD and bullshit that it's had. Hey, I like flow. I think they're builders and great advocates in the space, and so I'm rooting for them. And man, this is getting me jazzed.
It's a long-term play. It's a risk for sure. When my buddy sent me the announcement, I was like, this is a risk for Doodles. You know, even though it's a secondary drop, it's still a risk to move onto a platform that does not have a lot of PFP action. Well, shout out to Guy, by the way.
Because even though it is insulated to an extent from the original collection, this is a big expansion of the brand, similar to Gutter Cat Gang. They expanded very quickly and it didn't really work out for them. If they expand quickly here and the thing kind of tanks or isn't a great experience, like that could negatively impact people's perception.
Let's highlight one thing that we're not touching upon that's critical infrastructure, and I think it's like a big sleeper in flow, which is their wallet, right? Like, other than Moonplay, which helps ease the onboarding through fiat ramps right onto crypto, but as far as like UI and experience and just easy to use for mom and pop and normies, I think Flow has one of the best wallets out there. And if you put that on mobile, I don't know, man, like it could be something, right? So let's see how it plays out, fellas. I'm jazzed to like visit this later down the line and see how it's doing. And I mean, Q, we need to get ourselves a Doodle too.
Well, yeah, I think I have the Genesis box here up, which is going to get you Doodles too, right? There was an initial pickup. You can see the volume. This is 30 days, but it's since dropped down below announcement. I mean, this just tells you, we brought up the Gutter Cat stuff as well, and I think me and you are both bullish. I think Gifted is bullish. He just wants to know what the hell kind of utility this Doodles 2 has post, just switching out wearables.
I'm jealous because Gif is in LA, dude. So he gets like all the cool events. Like all the great teams are out there. Like he just like has to get on his, well, not your motorbike anymore, but whatever. Like it's right there at your grasp. GIF jelly, man. Well, I'm sure that it'll have some functionality. I'm curious what the rares are going. If floor price is 0.25 for the average, I am supposing. What do you think the rares are going for? An ETH can't be more than an ETH.
Are there any rares for Doodles too? Right? Isn't it post reveal? Like, is there
no like the duplicator? So I think it depends all on the duplicator. So like depending on what duplicator you have.
So that's fair. Let's look at duplicators. I know. So all of this was getting a bid on volume, right? Duplicators, Genesis boxes. I need to look at the OG Doodles, but all of it was getting a bid. There was definitely volume.
So just to be clear, the duplicators will move the OGs over, and then the Genesis box or the new are just totally new.
No, so the I don't know what the Genesis boxes do.
Duplicators are the wearables.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Duplicated. All right. So yeah, maybe.
And so the Genesis boxes are the person traits from your doodle. Oh,
traits. For
you get to duplicate traits from your doodle. Okay, so you have to have. Okay. It's gonna take from whatever doodle you have.
But so yeah, you have to have a doodle for those to do anything, though, right? Like. Yeah, I never really understood these duplicators because like it relies upon you already being in the collection, but then why are so many people speculating on them? Because not all the people that have duplicators have.
Okay, Genesis boxes contain the wearables. See, we've been talking about this, and we're gonna wrap up, folks. We back-to-back 2-hour episodes. Please leave a like; it does help us in our journey to create a great network for you guys. And obviously, we're up here for 2 hours, so I appreciate both of you. Genesis boxes contain rare wearables. Duplicators
are the ones that take so. But they still have like rare. The duplicators themselves still have like different rarities. So. Yeah,
but it's not.
We need a doodle expert.
I think you're seeing what I'm seeing, and that's that it's not clear how you actually get the doodle too right now, right?
Yes. I'm confused now. So yes, that is just
yeah. So yeah, if any Doodles experts want to clarify this for us, please do.
Yeah, it'd be cool to reach out to that Ongaya guy the other day that was in the chat and have him on to like. Give us a rundown on like what he sees in the flow ecosystem at the moment.
See, usually Dapper's much better at this. That was like one of the things I was pointing to is it was super simple. They were making Ethereum sound simple back in 2017. So it's not a good sign that we're confused here. But yeah, maybe we'll get back after it. Guys, I think we'll be following Doodles in that launch. Do we know when this is officially set to go live? There was no time, I don't think, date.
Yeah, no clue there, bro.
Got it. All right, folks. Well, we're going to get up out of here relatively soon. I mean, within the next minute. We appreciate you guys tuning in through the entirety of the 2-hour and 6-minute episode here. Don R. Squashman giving some good insights on both the Twitter Spaces and NFT Live here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Asmodai, Jack's Hideaway, Blockchain Rookie, of course, Marty McFly. Ronin the Collector, Prodigy. Thank you guys for tuning in the entirety. Darren Pacheco, Grant Roger. There was a mean bird in the house.
Smash the like if you haven't already. It makes a difference, helps us get out there. We're putting in the time, the effort to create this content. If you can help us share it out there, get the algorithms working for us, it's appreciated.
It is very much appreciated. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be back next week, of course. No Metaverse Marathon on Saturday for us this week. Unless, Biggie, you wanted to fire up the treadmill?
No, I'm good. I'm good. We'll figure out what else we can come up with soon enough. But I just want to tell you guys out there, I love you. Just practice compassion. Be kind. Wag me. And we'll see you here next week, right?
100%. Gifted, take us out. Our Vibe, our tribe, folks. Gift, take us out, man.
Wag me united. Yo, big love. And another week in the books. GM